Was a rough night at the office for Neil Magny on Wednesday at UFC on ESPN 20. He suffers a rather lopsided unanimous decision loss to Michael Chiesa in their welterweight headliner, and in the process has his 3-fight winning streak snapped. Of course, Magny is still the second winningest welterweight in UFC history, behind only the great George St. Pierre, but in this fight, he did look rather flat, could not get anything going at any point, was badly out-grappled, and lost in definitive fashion. How does he move forward from here? I still think there's plenty of interesting fights for Magny in this weight class. Of course, he is a guy that will probably be around for a long time in the future, but he really has to start back at the drawing board in terms of building himself towards being a title contender, or even discussed in that title contention picture in a very, very top heavy weight class. I think if he looks around, though, there is a fight that makes a lot of sense for him, and that is a rebooking against Jeff Neal. Of course, the pair were supposed to fight last summer. It fell apart when Neal went through his serious health complications, was hospitalized. Neal coming off a main event loss of his own to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson this past year. I think it makes sense to put that matchup back together. Of course, two guys coming off main event defeats where they were rather dominated in that fashion. These two are, of course, as I said, scheduled to fight once before. I think it's an interesting style clash. Of course, Neal, one of the better strikers in this weight class. Magny, despite this outcome against Chiesa, one of the better grapplers in this division. I think seeing those two mesh together would make for a compelling matchup. I think you put that together and see who has a further slide, would experience back-to-back defeats, see who can rebound and get back on track, be looked at as still an upper tier welterweight in the top 15.